Welcome. Before we begin, I will quickly summarize the two major goals we have here. Most important goal is to access the fan blade. It has to be removed to clean it well. This model is particularly difficult to service. So if deep cleaning can be done without any disassembly, it might be a good idea to avoid going this far. Second stage is to disassemble everything else, including the fan motor, but beware. The fan motor in this model is not designed to be removed, and it is very difficult and dangerous procedure. We do not take any responsibility from these procedures. Let's begin by opening the front panel. Support arm for keeping panel upright is on the left. Note, this particular unit is missing its junction box cover. Both dust filters are removed. Dust filters can have additional deodorizing filters. They would be attached behind these dust filters. Warning, do not attempt to pull the air vane out. Somebody has tried with force and broken the attachment. If this location gets broken, it might not be repairable. To open it up, we have to use the electrical drive. Turning unit on opens and pushes the louver out. Remember to disconnect power supply now. Left side connection clips are pressed with pliers, while pushing louver sideways to disengage the hinge. Here is the plier action demonstrated once more. Right side connection can be simply pushed off with a thumb. Next we are going to tackle the front panel. Two separate displays will be removed. For this you need a stubby Phillips No. 2 screwdriver. Both displays have two screws on the corners. When screws are removed, the left display drops off. Right side display has to be slid sideways before it drops. Next you pull the wires from their sockets. Hinges are connected by outward-facing studs. Pry from left to pull the stud out from its socket. On the right, you pry from the right side. Now the panel is free. There are 3 visible screws in a row to be removed. One extra screw is hidden behind a flap in the center. Two wire connections on the junction box unconnected. In principle, the front panel is removed straightforwards, but it has troublesome latches at the top preventing it. Let's pause here for a second. These latches, 4 of them, hold the cover strongly. These latches cannot be pushed down. Instead, the cover has to be lifted up away from them. Here we are using curved tire iron. If sealing is far enough, you could do it by hand also. Unlatching has to start from left to right. Undoing each of the claws one by one. With a long screwdriver through opening, we can pop the last one out. Push the handle downward against plastic edge in the unit. Pry the cover upwards and the cover is released. Before celebrating, there is a hidden wire behind the cover. It has to be unclipped from cable ties. Wire is pulled off from the clips holding it in place. If work needs to be done on the hinge, here is how. Remove 3 screws and the right side is free. Left side gearbox has also 3 screws holding it in place. However, the bulky motor, it does not come out straight away. This small cover has to be popped out prior. Next we start working on the interior parts. With a long Phillips head screwdriver, unscrew the fan. Do not remove the screw, just loosen it. As you can see, the fan blade is free to move now. During assembly, correct position is at the midpoint. Plastic housing situated at the left is removed. To do so, remove 2 vertically oriented screws. Then the singular horizontal screw. Put something between the condensation pan and the radiator, for example a roll of electrical tape. Unlock the latches with a screwdriver. Each collar around the copper loop has a small plastic clip. Pull away and unclip each of them one by one. You can feel the plastic getting loose. At last, pulling the cover exposes bearing and fan blade. To remove the bearing, we push it upwards from a small claw underneath insulation. This plastic housing contains a Teflon bearing. This bearing is standard to all high wall units. It is pulled off from the rubber sleeve. Remember to add multi-grease in the center after servicing. Fan motor blade should pull off easily now. If only for cleaning purposes, this is the final step. Inspect the wheel for broken blades. Check if the rubber contact point shows signs of cracks. If unit is close to the wall, previous method won't work. In that case, unit has to be tilted towards the floor. You disconnect the 2 clips on bottom of indoor unit. Then lift and tilt downward, pipework as a hinge point. Warning, this is not easy and you need helping hand. Try not to scratch the wall during this motion. Piece of cardboard on the wall is a good idea. If needed, condensation line is held by small metal clip. With twisting motion the line is unplugged. Next we proceed to remove the circuit board housing. This allows for servicing the electrical parts. Plastic dust cover has to be removed, held down by 1 screw. Plasma ionizing box is also held on with 1 screw. It needs some lifting force to be removed. Cut the cable tie. Pull the radiator thermistor from its socket. Do not lose this metal clip. Next we take the 2 screws off from grounding connectors. Remove the single screw in front. This holds the circuit board housing. Lift the metal tabs to expose main circuit board. Connectors are located behind it. Do not remove unnecessary connectors. This particular connector requires a lot of force. Pry the plastic claw sideways to free the housing. Most of the sensors and wires stay attached. Now we can entertain the removal of fan motor. Beware, fan motor removal on the wall can destroy the coil. Ideally, the coil would be removed prior. Remove the first screw, which is exposed and easy. The other screw is hidden underneath the radiator pipe loop. Then there is a tie-down metal clip in the middle. And on the backside there is also one screw. Between all the coil work. Untie the socket with long Phillips head screwdriver. Pry it between the metal tie-down and plastic part. The radiator is now free to be lifted upwards. When radiator is lifted, clearance to the screw is obtained. Remember that the pipes are easily fractured or damaged. Release of refrigerant is possible. Reach for the screw in the back. It is accessible between the coil loops. But this is the easy part. With firm grip on the both sides, roll the radiator upward. This allows the white plastic housing to be removed. Usually the housing stays attached to the coil, as we can see. Beware that this action strains the fragile pipework. Wiggle the plastic housing out. Looks like it re-engaged the tie-down. You should buy a new motor if any troubles with the old one. Bearings can be replaced from within, in a separate video. If wide vane flaps are damaged, they can be removed. Remove the two screws holding the vane motor in place. Next, pry the plastic rod off from the vanes. The sideways louvers are removed, wedging the screwdriver. The plastic is quite elastic, so large motion is needed. Only remove these if really necessary. Wedge screwdriver between the stud and the rod. We are almost finished here. If leaking radiator has to be refitted. Unit has to be removed from the wall completely. Remove the single screw from pipe cover, located backside. Then pry the cover off a screwdriver. Assembly is done in reverse order. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section.